Hi everyone, my name is Lee Honish and I am the former head loss mitigator for IndyMac Bank's HELOC division, and I'm simply not wired like the rest of you. I've had a 30 plus year career in real estate and banking starting in 1988, working for my father's company. It's not my whole story. I wanted to be a chef and my father brought me into this business. Up until the point of 1988, I had a struggle to get there, even out of high school, to be perfectly honest. I am actually a very shy and withdrawn kid. Maybe sensory overload, maybe too much to learn about numbers because I was really well fitted for the world of for distressed properties and defaulted properties. But whatever the case, I never quite fit in. In fact, I'm not the best student you will ever meet in your entire life. I'm the opposite of that. I think I got through college with a D minus average, and I'm also extremely dyslexic. And for a large portion of my time throughout junior high and high school, I was actually bullied as well. The reason I tell you all of this isn't so that you feel sorry for me. It's so that you understand that I'm no different than all of you. Within the last year, my father passed away, the man who brought me into this business. I've gone through a really messy breakup that was somewhat devastating to me. And I continue to push forward because I believe in the work that I do. I believe in helping all of you, helping others. We have a mission here, and that's to help 1 million homeowners. And I don't let my personal trauma, my background, my life, whatever it is, affect the way that I do things. I have now, over the past 30 years, worked for 4 different lenders, major organizations, as an executive, as an asset manager, as a retained asset manager, and I've even had the lowly, holy, crappy job of being a property manager as well. I've also been a real estate agent and a developer. In those 30 plus years, I have gained all my experience specifically in one field. When a person misses one payment, 31 days at 5 p.m., all the way until it cures or transfers title, right? And pays off and transfers title. What does that mean? That is the distress realm. That is the default realm. At 31 days at 5 p.m., you're 30 days late, okay? Your loan is in default. All of these forbearance agreements are in default. Got it? Whatever you've heard, it's not accurate. I'm here today to educate you so that you can educate others. In 2007, I went around the world, it seems like, to go teach people how to do short sales. From 2007 to 2010, I did 3 to 5 live presentations every single week, educating people on the actual bank process. As the former head loss mitigator for IndyMac Bank's HELOC division, I was there at the beginning creating the guidelines and the protocols that many people still use to this day, the banking applications and calculators and versus short sale to foreclosure. Those are all very asset manager things. I taught those to real estate agents for 3 straight years. And in 2010, I started consulting privately. I am an entrepreneur, no different than all of you. And because of that, I had to create marketing. It's the number one question that I get all the time. How do I get more listings? I specialize in default listings. People who've missed at least one payment. Got it? I'm not going to get into semantics or specifics, but from that point forward, that is what we target. That is what we work on. We work to educate homeowners. I have been doing it now for 11 years. I have been named one of the top 100 marketers in America, and I've been named one of the most innovative marketers for the approach that I've created. I'm going to share that approach with you today. And it is because of that approach and the things that I have taught and not letting my past or my life or my hurdles get in my way, I have been able to successfully train tens of thousands of real estate agents, be viewed millions of times. I've done a lot, and there's a lot more work to be done. Our goal here at Home Advocates is to help 1 million homeowners and to train 1,000 agents. We've reached our first milestone. We're at 10%. Once we get to the end of that, we're done. I think we will, probably take a break at that point, but we'll see how it all goes. I think that the current market crash is going to be significant. So let's talk about what's going on in the current market. As I said before this call started, I'd probably change one and add a 1A, but let's go through them. These are actual things that will affect devaluation of property and increase defaults. Got it? Number 10, the eviction moratorium is over. I'm giving you guys all a link right now. It is homeadvocates.io/event. And you can all feel free to click on it. And on that particular page, why am I having a thing? This is it. There we go. Get there eventually. You will see a webinar from our past training. It'll get replaced with today's training. Links for a discount. My CEO is on the call. He knows that I'm kind of very agitated about this particularly. We're doing our prices right now at 66% off if you were to go through our main portal. If you are a previous student and you're looking to upgrade, you click on this link. It's a one-time upgrade as well for $9.97. What I'm here to talk about are these 4 links that are underneath it, okay? Number 1, our state-by-state numbers on evictions and what's happening with moratoriums being lifted, how many people are in default. It's a great article. The second one is a state-by-state on physical, tangible evictions. It's an extremely helpful state-by-state article that tells you whether or not your state is actually allowing evictions in general. The third is a copy of this PowerPoint that you can download. I know that people like to do screenshots. Save yourself the trouble. You can download the PowerPoint. And the fourth, I am actually going to talk about real marketing. And these are the actual marketing pieces that we're going to talk about. And you can download these marketing pieces and we will cover them. I also threw in a white label book that you guys can be the author of just for being on the call today. It's about as simple as I can make it. And again, the link is right now in the chat bar. So go ahead and enjoy that because I will reference that at certain points. The eviction moratorium is over. No questions. No question at all. I think my bigger concern is not if we're evicting people, right? What does it really mean? Okay, so prior to the pandemic, we had about 300,000 or 400,000 people, plus or minus, that were in extreme default, right? They were all trying to work out loan mods or, whatever, win the lottery, whatever it is that homeowners do to stall and stay in their house. Those are the first people that came back online, and they're online right now. I don't count those. What concerns me is because of group number 2. There are 1.6 million forbearance agreements that had to be paid off, right, and rectified with their lending institutions as of the 1st of this month. Otherwise, it will get reported to their credit, and it will be reported as a defaulted situation on their credit. Those things combined total approximately 2 million people that will be in default. Currently, when you pull the numbers, we're approximately showing 30% of extremely defaulted homeowners. I've done some videos that actually show the number of people that are in default, and they're still not exactly sure. It's really bad, okay? It's really, really bad. Do I think that these things will cause a market crash? No, I actually don't on some level. I think these things would create a market correction, okay? It would bring more property online, and I think even with raising the interest rates, what you do is maybe bring down the prices and have a bit of a correction. Prices are going to come down. There are things on here that literally are the number one reason for it, but the prices are coming down. Days on market are going up. And remember, real estate is market by market. I'm not naive about that, but it is general perception to the public. So yeah, I'm looking right now at the minimum of approximately 2 million defaults coming online. Number 8, 7.5 million unemployment checks have ended. This is a little more disturbing to me. And last month, there was another wave of people who decided not to work. And I know everybody wants to put individual spins on why people don't want to work. The bottom line, you don't work, you don't make money. We already have 10% default rate on car loans. We have student debt at its highest. And nobody's working. You need money to buy food. And these are... I don't put it on this list, but we're in the middle of hyperinflation. It's a fact. We're over printing money. And that's going to have a tremendous impact, right? Where does money go? And that money's got to go somewhere to pay for housing and all the other things. There isn't enough money to cover the hyperinflation that is occurring, either in housing prices or rental prices. Rent prices are through the roof. Everything is over the top, so they have to come back down. So because of that inflation, we're looking at a recession. Will a recession have an impact on the real estate market? Of course it will. So you have to keep track of these things. If I said this on the video, if I were in a bank on Monday morning and I keep seeing these things occur, I would start to project the value of my assets at the bank down. Okay, I'm not projecting them up anymore. And if you watch the latest data that people are putting out in articles, they're not projecting as high as they were before. I get that we went up 20% year over year, 21% year over year, and people love talking about that, right? There is no physical, tangible way that can continue. It's only creating a larger bubble. The more we go up, the more we have to come back down to what is considered a normal maturation of the market itself. And that's what we're in the middle of right now, which takes us to the next one, right? The interest rates are way too low. And the Fed's already planning on tapering their printing of money and their zero of lending that they've been doing. They're just basically printing money. They're going to taper that. So Wall Street will have an effect on that. They're already bringing the interest rates on housing up, right? That's significant. They've already stated that they're going to move it probably to 3.25, maybe as high as 3.3 before the end of the year. And in the article, they politely point out, hey, no big deal. It's still at a historically low rate. My answer to that would be any movement at that interest rate makes the market less appealing to people who want to buy. Is it still a seller's market? Yes. It is not a buyer's market. I am not naive to that. The point is, our days on market going up, our price reductions starting to happen. It doesn't take a lot of effort for you to look at those things in your own individual markets and make a judgment for yourself. I see it a lot on the high-end homes. On the East Coast, look, if you're in Miami on the East Coast, you're just happy. You just want listings, to be perfectly honest, where, it's just a free-for-all still. My point to all of this is just keep track of it. It takes several years for a market crash to occur. They aren't like immediately. You're not going to wake up tomorrow and houses go from 500,000 to 100,000. They take time to slide. Even in 2006, I saw the beginning of the crash. I was in the bank negotiating short sales when the crash started. It was still a slow process. It took us from approximately 2006 to 2010 to reach the bottom of the market. So my point is, there are a lot of indicators that you should start working towards a distressed listing portfolio, if that makes sense. It's hard to get a traditional listing in a market where people are afraid to sell, which means you have to change how you do business. Number 6, values are way too high. Yeah, they are. They're going to correct. If you don't believe that and you think it's going to continue to go up, I don't know what you're doing on this webinar. I really don't. I don't have much to say to you. I possibly think you might believe the planet is flat, if that's the case. Oh, interest rates will stay down. Planet's flat. Okay? Values are too high and they're going to keep going up. You believe the planet is flat as well. That's my feeling. Okay? Number 5, renter evictions. Huge impact. right? Once people are and it's going to take time to catch up to it. Probably just before Christmas is where the crap is going to hit the fan on this topic. I expect if you Google in your individual markets, especially those of you in Florida, you'll see the local stories of people starting to get evicted. Where exactly are we going to put these people, right? Currently, we're I'll get to it at number 3. We're not reporting to the FICO system, but those things are going to go on people's FICO systems. These are all very real things that are happening to the market, right? You're going to have all of these displaced people. And here's another little nugget for being on the call. There are no slides about going after it, but I talk about it with my coaching group. There is going to be a wave of investors selling 2 to 4 unit owner occupied properties, which is data you can physically get your hands on and market directly to. Investors do not like what happened and that they had to pay while people didn't. I'm just giving you a nugget of where to look for some deals. Number 4, consumer confidence is at 70% that we're in a bubble and it's not the right time to buy. Not the right time to buy. I believe it's 66 or 67%. Not a right time to buy. I put the word bubble because it's something you would all know. Approximately 70%. Let's go with 6.5. I'll round it down instead of up. 6.5 out of 10 people think now is not the right time to buy. They have definitively stated that they're going to raise the interest rate before the end of the year. Will that increase buyer confidence or decrease buyer confidence? You make a decision. If you're looking at it from the perspective of how does Zillow tie into this, I don't think they have buyer confidence and they have opted to get out of the market. I think Wells, Chase, B of A want out of the market. They don't want to lend money on the equity in houses. They don't have confidence in giving out money. That's a lot of people who don't have confidence in the direction of value. So we have 2 things going on. We got 1.5 million people plus the other 300,000 or 400,000. Let's round it all to 2 million. We got about 2 million people that are going to be in default. We have a market that's going to go through a correction, which means your sellers are probably not going to want to sell. If they think that we're in a bubble or that we're crashing, they're going to hold on to what they have. And if you're thinking, wow, that'll create panic selling so that they can get their equity out. Is it? That's not really how I remember it in 2006 and 7. What happened was people in the traditional sense stopped selling and real estate agents in buckets and droves moved over to distressed properties and short sales. I'm telling you, agents are going to move over to distressed property in droves to do defaulted properties. They're not going to be short sales. They're just going to be properties that need to be liquidated. On average, homeowners have $51,500 of equity. I believe that's why, again, what I think, they've made such a big deal about accelerating the value of property so that people have money when they're foreclosed upon. Number 3, the FICO reporting system. We turned it off during the pandemic. They've turned it back on, and they're bringing it online slowly. The data is still a little sketchy at best. At one point, the federal government actually wanted to regulate the FICO system. At one point, the banks actually said that they were no longer going to use the FICO system to determine whether or not they were somebody was qualified for a loan, because the FICO system literally got turned off. And that was a threat to whomever or whatever turned it off. Because the truth is, the banks are all going to report these 1.5 million people delinquent. If you missed a payment, the bank's not going to forgive it. They're going to mark your credit. If you took a forbearance for $30,000, they're going to put that on your credit. It is a unknown handshake agreement between all the lenders and all the creditors that will report everything so that that individual doesn't borrow more money. It's been sort of this fair trade system. But by turning the FICO system off, right, and the government actually threatening to not report, let's go with people who got evicted, that's going to go on their credit. And if you don't think that these landlords aren't going to get judgments for the money that they're owed and tie that to human beings, you tie it through the FICO system. It's going to have a dramatic impact. All of these little things keep adding up. Okay, any one of these would cause a market correction. All of these things are leading to a crash. Some markets a correction. Number 2, foreclosure reporting filing is up. We're at 30%. So pull data for your area. How many people are actively in foreclosure? Notice of default, notice of sale, auction date, list pendants, whatever your terminology is for your state. Pull that number for your county. That's 30% of the market. Multiply it out. Now, here is my argument. Are there more opportunities for residential listings, or are there more opportunities for default listings? Make sense? Easy enough. But we're at about 30% being reported right now. They're ramping it up. And again, everybody on the East Coast, your numbers are actually up even higher than that. On the national average, it's 30%. On the East Coast, good Lord, the acceleration of distressed properties from New Jersey to Florida and coming out, Texas, the numbers are going up dramatically fast. So there's huge opportunity for you. Number 1, the government failed to fix it. I don't know. Zillow not buying properties and the government failing to fix it are 1 and 1A in my book. Zillow opting out, huge. Okay, huge. Cannot stress it enough. The government failing to fix this is nuts. I mean, they had $46 billion set aside to pay for renters. If you were a household that made less than $99,900, you could apply for mortgage assistance, loan assistance, whatever terminology you want to use. Nobody got it. Nobody got it. And that's the bottom line. They failed to distribute it. They barely got the debt ceiling, temporarily moved up before they really collapsed the economy. They are all over the place. So if we're looking at our trusted leaders to fix this problem, you are wrong. It is us in real estate that have to fix this problem. And I'm going to show you a solution, how to meet them, and things that will be beneficial to all of you. So what I would say at this point now I'm back to normal. All right, let's talk about how to get in front of people who don't answer the phone, who don't answer the door, who generally hide from bill collectors, and how you can be face-to-face with them. I'm going to show you the way we do it. I'm going to show you with our scripts. That's why I gave you guys an opportunity to have access to all of our links and everything that will be helpful. I think it's important for you to understand this. 95% of all people have a basic fear of not being able to provide. Even those of you on this call have that fear. That's why you do real estate, to make money and provide. For me, it's a little more guttural. I really do understand it, and I do have a fear of being able to provide. In 2010, I stopped working for companies, and I became a private independent consultant to real estate people, and it was scary, right? And the reason it was scary is because I have an it. I have a why. This is my daughter, Mackenzie. She was born August 6, 2004, and she is everything to me. She is the reason I get up. She is the reason I help homeowners. She is the reason that I try to be nice on a daily basis. She has made me literally a better man than I would have been if I stayed in a bank, shaking people till they bleed money. She has changed my view. She has changed my view on homeowners. She has changed my view on life. Many of you have a why. In just a few months, about 6, she'll be going off to college. And my mission won't end. She and I talk about it all the time. And I like the fact that my daughter is proud of the work we do today. But in 2010, I needed to create something totally different that the market has never seen. Some of you on the call know this. I created a marketing approach called Monster Marketing in 2010. It is the only marketing system of its kind. It is the reason I got named one of the top marketers in America. It is the reason I am the biggest name in distressed properties, period. It's gotten me featured on multiple websites. It's an amazing book. It's an amazing system. It's been used for 11 years, and I am the only person who can guarantee getting you face-to-face with actual people who need to sell. I create that opportunity with a guarantee no matter what. That's why I gave you guys the link earlier. I'm going to show you everything. And I'm telling you guys right now, if you sign up while I'm doing all of this, there's an offer at the end. Okay? I tell everybody about the offer at the end. It's not a quick upsell at the end. I'm throwing in 3 items at the end of this webinar. The total value is a lot. And it's not for additional sales. It's because I want you to get involved as quick as you can. When I turn this webinar off in about 15 minutes, okay, those deals go with me. And I know my CEO's on this call right now. He knows that I want to increase my price to $5,000. We don't charge a monthly fee. We don't take a piece of every single one of your deals. We do things totally different. We try to make everything affordable for you. Those that are my coaching students, we don't force them into upgrades. They have all their own old products. If they want to upgrade, they can. They still continue to get their Wednesday coaching calls. We have a family environment. I'm approachable and reachable. My CEO is. We are not a giant, massive corporation. Okay? We have a very limited staff, and I want it that way. With all of that said, this is how we do business and how we actually got here. As a quick note, I get asked this all the time, so I will say it. Mentors do have mentors. You should all have mentors. And if you're going to get into distressed properties, I'm your mentor. There are people on this call who have me as their mentor. For me, I have 3 that I operate by on a daily basis. The first is Don Miguel Ruiz in the 4 Agreement. Second is Seth Godin in Permission-Based Marketing. And the last is Rhonda Byrne in The Secret. And I'll just quickly say this. The 4 Agreements has changed every perspective in the way I deal with life over the last 18 months. I don't take anything personally. I don't make assumptions. I do my best. I love the 4 Agreements. I try to work them every single day, and it's the hardest thing that I have to do every single day. Seth Godin is the reason that my marketing program is successful. I owe this man countless millions. He's saved countless hundreds of thousands of homeowners because of the marketing approach that I created from his ideas in this book. I don't think you will ever know the impact he's actually had on the housing market. And lastly is The Secret. Having been a realtor and a developer, I can safely tell you this, and I wholeheartedly believe this. Real estate agents are some of the most negative people I've ever been around in my entire life. All of you are surrounded by people who don't have listings and hate on others who have listings. That's it in a nutshell. I keep a positive mental outlook. Things will either happen or they won't happen. Somebody asked me, because I do manifest outcomes, right? I believe they will happen wholeheartedly. That's what the book's about. It's nothing esoterical beyond that. Am I manifesting the crash of the market? No, I don't have to do that. It's doing it all on its own. I don't actually have to dedicate any thought of market's going to crash. Market's going to crash. It's going to crash all on its own. In fact, I never said that the market was going to crash. I said the market's going to correct itself, and then it got worse, and I went, market's going to crash, right? My first position was correction. It has now been downgraded to crash at this point. These are the 3 books that I operate on. It's the 3 books that I kind of operate my coaching group on, so you understand where the mentoring that I have comes from, and I offer it to you. Seth Godin, a man I'd like to call a mentor and friend, is just, the book was remarkable. It created a great marketing program, and we're going to go through it step by step. When you sign up, when you invest in our product, you will see in your library 3 different items. Okay, the first one is the overall view that Derek, my CEO, knows this. We got to reshoot the videos, but it is your initial training module that we go through each of the items individually, so you have a great overview. You get a 1-hour one-on-one with us when you sign up. Derek walks you through the entire process so that you understand all of these things. But we're going to actually reshoot the overall training system, which is the very first module. The second is the Home Advocates community. Put up whatever quote, put up whatever question. There are no dumb questions. The only thing I cannot handle is anything political. We're not here to piss each other off, and nothing hurtful. That's it. If you're an anti-vaxxer, cool. Keep it to yourself. That's your opinion. Everyone's allowed to have an opinion. I'm just To quote my daughter, because they say it at school, and yes, I rolled my eyes at safe space. It's a safe space, right? I'm not here to create wars between my agents and what people believe. I can't even put stuff on my personal social media without somebody turning it into a political statement these days. So even the stuff that I post out in the real world is all very generic. Lastly is the hub. The hub is where we have everything. The monster program is now called the 12-step program. And if you're wondering if that's a nod to Bill W., for those of you in the room who understand it, yes. And here's a little funny haha joke that you guys will only get. It has 13 steps. It's a great joke. So here's how it works. When you sign up and you get the overview education, you do your 1 hour education, there are individual things on the hub. It is our center point for the entire program. There's the 12-step program. There's our face-to-face approach. There's a link for our coaching calls. We have our own investor buyer program. We have not shut it down, unlike Zillow. We have an investor portal. If you find a deal that you want to set up as an investor, an agent, or you're an investor, we will help you structure that deal. There are audio and video that I think would be beneficial if you want to see what I consume that helps me stay sharp. Lastly are our archives, which is actually getting reworked as we speak, but 10 years of marketing pieces from everything to probate, expireds, canceled, how to use all my stuff is in there, plus an entire video archive of over 1,000 hours. And as I said before, we have an extensive white label book collection of named bestsellers. When you sign up, you become a best-selling author, and you can take one of our books, you can buy your own cover for it, and you could say, bestseller. All of them are. Congratulations. Thanks for signing up. So let's start with my face-to-face method. When I am out and about in the real world, this is what I carry with me, and this is how I approach it. I call it a talk it up approach, and it was designed for me. As I said earlier, I'm actually a fairly shy, withdrawn person, and I'm awkward and uncomfortable in public situations. When I'm with my daughter, when I'm out with friends, when I'm in a relationship, I'm okay around people. I am. I'm good. But when I'm by myself, I'm really awkward. You as a real estate professional need to get off saying that you are a real estate agent and or a realtor or an investor for that matter. Nobody cares. Okay? Nobody cares. I'm going to give you a nugget right now for being on this call that will fundamentally change how people engage you. It is what I have been teaching with this particular method. So I'd write this down. When I go out and people ask me the question, what do? I respond and do the following. I fix broken real estate. What do you mean? Well, I help people who've missed payments or they took out a forbearance agreement and they don't know that they're in default. Do you or somebody you know, have they gotten a forbearance agreement or have they missed a payment or having difficulty making payments because of COVID? Doesn't matter what their answer is. Hey, let me do something I don't normally do. Let me write down my cell phone number and give this to you. This is a testimonial from one of my last clients on the front, and my information's on the back. But more importantly, I don't always, let me get out of that script and go to the next part, which is I don't normally walk around with cards. Like if I go to an outdoor festival, I go to a lot of live music. I'm probably going tonight. And somebody asks me, I'm not carrying cards with me. I probably should, but I don't. So here's what I do. Hey, do me a favor. Open up your phone. I want you to open up Google, and I would invite everybody on this call, open up your own browsers and open up Google. Type in the word Home Advocates. When you do that, where do we go? Oh, I'm clicking the wrong button. When you do that, I want you to type in Home Advocates. As you can see, we are line 1 for distressed property information and education. Above all the other city, county, and government organizations, we are line number 1. Our program, our educational approach. And on the front page of that, I'm going to show this to you guys right now. On the front page of our website, when you sign up, you get listed as an advocate with your email address. People who go to our website can dial our 800 number on the contact page for you. So when you meet someone out in public, don't worry about having a card, right? Abe can literally say, hey, just Google Home Advocates, open it on your phone. This happened the other day. I talked to a guy, and he was telling me about his house. I said, open up your phone. Type in Home Advocates. He clicked on it. I said, click the contact. Meet our team. I'm the owner of the company. You can reach me tomorrow. He did. I have his text on the phone. In fact, I need to tell Derek to call him because he's got a lot of equity that he wants to get out and sell his property. He's in East San Diego. I got the listing. I mean, I don't have a real estate license, but I got that opportunity. He wants to cash out. He wants to get the cash. And he asked me the approach to do it. And most of my credibility was built on me telling him to open up Google. Just like that. Our second approach is our 12-step approach. This is the one I am known for. This is the one that I wrote the book. This is what got me the bestseller. This is what got me named one of the most innovative marketers and one of the top marketers. There are people on this call who have used it. They know the power of what I'm about to show you, and I'm going to show you step by step. We call it the 12-step program. Number 1 and number 2 are very simple. Just tell us what areas you're in, whether or not you're starting to market, and we will send you leads. That's what we do. The next thing we want you to do is go on Amazon. I'm pretty sure you can all do this. Go order some Avery Label 6464s. They come 6 to a page, and they are repealable. They are not permanent. That is really important. Number 4, you're going to click on a button on the 12-step program that says download the link. And you are going to download this marketing piece that you see right now. By the way, I'm recording this so you guys can see it again later. That is a delivery label that goes to a call center. Got it? Call center has a script. You're going to print them out on those Avery labels. Real simple. If you can't, take them over to FedEx office. You're going to pick 12 properties. That's it. You're going to go out on Monday and you're going to go out on Wednesday for 1 hour on each day and put out 12 on Monday and 12 on Wednesday. The call center books appointments on Tuesdays and Thursdays after 3 p.m. Period. If you cannot go out on appointments on those days, do not put out marketing pieces. Very, very, very simple. We use Root Excel. It's a very basic online program. You're going to put your 12 properties in, get them mapped out. Then you're going to prepare your marketing pieces. You're going to write their last name and their APN number on those marketing pieces. Then you're going to have a driving list. You're going to jump in the car. You're going to go to house number 1. Everybody follow? It shouldn't be too complicated for anybody. Then you're going to get out of your car and you're going to put this marketing piece on either the outside of the mailbox, the front door, or the garage door. Simple enough. Then you're going to go home. I don't want you putting up 100. I do not believe that you need to prospect for 40 to 50 hours to meet a homeowner. I do not. I do not believe in working hard for the sake of working hard. It's ridiculous. I believe in working smarter, not harder. 1 hour on Monday, 1 hour on Wednesday, and you should have 2 to 4 face-to-face appointments per week with people that need to sell their house. We call it a dignified solution. I'm going to show you in the script in a second. Don't knock on their door. Don't do any of that, right? Probably take about 24 hours or so before you get your first appointments. Once you get your first appointment, you click on the link and you download your first meeting package. I think all of you can do it. In fact, I'm going to show you that meeting package right now as a bonus. What you're looking at on the screen are live leads. They come into my email box. I review them. Your initials are on the tracking number. I send the email to you and a copy to my CEO. So when people say that they didn't get it, they can't do it. This is literally about 20 minutes worth of leads that you're looking at right here that I went through and screenshotted for all of you. We are now testing a postcard. We gave it out to our coaching group 2 weeks ago. It is currently testing. I want people to send out 100 of these per week. Don't kill yourself. So now those calls go to the call center as well. But we do have temps and proofs that are out there right now. It's very straightforward. Do I think that it'll get a 1 to a 3% result? Who knows, right? I don't know what that market's like, but we are testing it right now, and it's just another arrow in the quiver, right? So, also on the hub is our coaching on what to do face-to-face. I'm going to go through it quickly here. We have about 5 to 10 minutes left. just to make a clarification for everybody. I know where I am exactly. I answered questions today, so that was a lot of fun. We do 3 coaching calls per week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 9 a.m. You do get a one-on-one when you start up, right? And all of those calls are all of our coaching calls are archived. They're sent back out to you. So the question I get all the time is, how long till I get a listing? On average now, it's about 3 to 6 weeks if you're doing everything correctly. From the minute you start doing my program, should take about 3 to 6 weeks before you see your first listing. If you do it consistently, you should be getting a listing every 3 to 6 weeks. Michelle Ali in Florida just told me, and I don't think she's been with us for longer than 3 weeks. She got her first listing. In fact, I've been meaning, in fact, Derek, I know is watching. You should probably contact her and get a testimonial. We could probably insert it here. All of my students have done it. We've got videos that you can actually look at and see their results and see what their first appointments are like, and what their first listings are like. It's always about first contact to final action. That's it. In fact, I owe Miles, one of my coaching students, a couple hours, I think a full day of my time. He was the first one in the entire program to get a listing when we restarted everything about 6 months ago. We had a contest. Didn't take him long. It took 3 weeks. Keep it simple. So your first appointment is educational. You sign up, you make a pledge to me, to Derek, to everybody in the group that you will do one thing: follow the first appointment to the letter. We want to educate them on the first appointment. You are not there to list their house on the first appointment. So this is the script. Feel free to write it down. Hello, my name is Lee. I'm a homeowner advocate. Are you aware you are actively in foreclosure? Hand them a copy of their notice of default, notice of sale, auction date, list pendants, whatever. Step 2, I'm a local homeowner advocate. I live in the area. I'm a real estate agent. That's why I'm disclosing it. But I'm here to present you your alternatives to foreclosure. Nobody's doing a really good job of doing that. If it's okay, I'd like to read them to you and see if any of these work for you. Do nothing. Pay off, refinance. By the way, on the actual form you can download our explanations on each one. None of you are going to be me. None of you. Okay, I say it to my own coaching students, and they know a lot. You're not going to be me. Don't worry about being an expert. Be their friend. Be first of mind. Number 3, reinstate. Number 4, partial claim. Number 5, deed in lieu of foreclosure. Number 6, bankruptcy. Number 7, loan modification. Number 8 is forbearance. And number 9 is sales. If you want to go with the basic math of everything, you've got about a 20% chance, 20% of the people you will meet just on your opening script will want to sell their house, right? It's just based on volume. That means when you go to the front door and you present this option, they're going to say, I have equity, I want to sell. It will occur. The reality is most of them are going to say loan mod, forbearance, and possibly deed in lieu, probably followed by bankruptcy. Somewhere in that range right now. Doesn't matter. I'm thinking about doing a forbearance or a loan mod. Okay. I just have one question before I leave. What did the bank do to you? This is an actual closing line out of one of our live events. I want them to engage me and tell me their struggles. Your appointment should last a half hour to an hour with the script I just gave you. Before I leave, I'll ask them, okay, so you would like more information about the forbearance. Is it okay if I set a date to come back with you and follow up with that? They'll say yes, because you're an advocate. And then I'm going to show up and I'm going to deliver the information. When I deliver that information, I am going to pop the big question. Have you decided on what direction you're leaning for the final resolution of this property? I think we're going to really try to get the loan mod, even though I'm not employed, whatever, right? We have a response for anything but sale after the second appointment. I understand, and I hope that works out for you. I have one question before I leave. What's your plan B? The number one answer is, I guess I'll just stay here till I get thrown out. To which I always respond, you have equity in this house. You should not let the bank take that away from you. Please let me give you a plan so you have a fail-safe and follow up with you. That's it. And then it's just a game of follow-up. Now they go into a follow-up cycle. If you cannot follow up, you can let me know and I will help you with the follow-up. Simple as that. It's our reputation too. We're here to help you. And that's it. And that's how you get a listing. So you get the hub, and inside the hub is the 12-step program or face-to-face method, being on the front page of a website that's already got all the SEO you can shake a stick at, 3 coaching calls, 1 private one-on-one with all the archives, an iBuyer program, an investor program, all of our archives with 10 years of marketing pieces, archives of all of our webinars, and of course the white label books, plus everything that I'm developing, like the postcards. How do you join Home Advocates? Click on that link that I gave you. It's a one-time investment fee with no monthly fee. I don't want a piece of every single one of your deals. We will give you leads. The call center is already paid for. This is why there's an upgrade from the old version of our systems. If you were ever in Short Sale Genius or AMS with me and David Bartels or Monster, you only have to pay 1 fee. Simple as that. You just upgrade. And all of it comes with a 100% guarantee to get you face-to-face. Home Advocate marketing system is 100% guaranteed to get you face-to-face, Zoom to Zoom because of COVID, or we will refund 100% of your investment, no questions asked. I'll get you appointments, something that no other program, no other lead system will guarantee. I guarantee it. There are people on this call who use my products, and they know for a fact that's what I do. I know these people will have to sell. The only question is, are they going to sell it through you, or is the bank going to sell it for them?